Sagittarius New Moon blessings. Welcome, everyone. I'm Rama, and I want to share with you some important key features about this Sagittarius New Moon that became exact today at 10:05 a.m. at 4 degrees 2 arc minutes Sagittarius. And the new moon is a time where the sun and the moon meet up together and they create new potentials and possibilities. And this new moon is a very important time to seed the dream. So I want to share with you why it is so important to seed the dream, in hopes that you'll utilize this information to really dream big and to dream with a long vision ahead. So I'm really feeling into where we are collectively, and I get this opportunity in the work that I do with groups and then also in private sessions. It allows me this vantage point to witness through the others I interact with and through my own experience something that's really up for the collective. And I really see this Sagittarius new moon as an opportune time to create this crucible of courage, to really put yourself out there, to dream the dream, and to dare to be seen, to dare to be heard, to dare to be witnessed. And one thing I can say is that with the activation of social media, all of us are being pushed to put ourselves out there. And it can be hard, it can be challenging, because when you put yourself out there are going to be people who love what you do, and there are going to be people who do not love what you do. And quite often you might hear more from the people who don't appreciate what you're offering more than those who do. And this is a time to really be courageous as we're doing this clearing work in preparation for the massive astrology of 2020. We are being asked to be courageous, to be deeply spiritually courageous, to be willing to be seen. And in that willingness to know that your medicine is not for everyone, that not everyone is going to like what you do, they're not going to resonate with you, with what you're offering. However, it is still important, it is imperative that you are willing to be seen regardless. This is a time to really shed the parts of ourselves, particularly those of us who identify as women, to shed the parts that want to be people pleasers, that want to be liked by everyone, that want to be understood, and instead just to be brave and to be willing to carry your voice forward no matter what. Because your voice, your unique medicine, is exactly what the earth needs now more than ever. And some of you know I'm offering this pilgrimage for 8 women to travel to Egypt in February of 2020. And I've called this Architecting Your Queendom, because it really is a call to those who have this divine destiny call to really embody their Dharma, to really activate it. And what I'm realizing is that whether or not one feels that call to go on this pilgrimage, something that we're all being asked of for 2020 is to really embody the sense of royal courage. In Kundalini Yoga, we actually look at this technology as a form of Raj Yoga. It's a royal lineage, and it is a lineage where it is through your devotion to yourself and your highest truth that you begin to crown yourself with this deep truth, with this authenticity. And so this new moon is a really important time to start activating that medicine if you've not already been doing so, or if you have, it's an important time to circle back with that intention. And Sagittarius is the archetype of the centaur, the wild horse, the adventurer, the philosopher, the vision seeker. One who like sees this broad, wide vision and is very optimistic and wants to call it forth. And Sagittarius is ruled by the planet of Jupiter, and Jupiter is one of the spiritual teaching planets. Jupiter teaches through expansion, through making things really big, through warmth, through this jovial sort of quality. We could associate the colors yellow or orange with Jupiter, whereas Saturn, the other teaching planet, teaches through self-mastery, as far as like where the limitations need to be, how to constrict, how to refine, how to make things small and tight. And they're opposites in many ways. Saturn is cold and dry and dark and more associated with like the colors of dark blue and black, whereas Jupiter is very warm and expansive. And we have had this real important alignment with Jupiter on the galactic center. And this is something that only happens once every 12 years. So on this new moon, Jupiter is still conjunct the galactic center, which means for the entire next lunar cycle, the next 28 and a half days, we have this ability to connect in with the galactic center. The galactic center is this great cosmic womb of creation where stars and planets go in and out to die and to be reborn. And the galactic center is this place of pure potential where we can really touch into concepts that are far-reaching, that are beyond our typical intelligence here on Earth at this time. When you think of the concept of intergalactic, we can really call upon the galactic center as that womb space to hold all of this possibility and this magnetic force. So this new moon is broadcasting from this placement of the galactic center. And in addition to that, a couple of days ago, Venus and Jupiter were aligned on the galactic center. Now, Venus has gone on into Capricorn, helping to manifest and really root our love and that which we're birthing as far as this whole new cultural renaissance, which I really see 2020 as this opportunity to start laying the foundations for this whole new cultural paradigm that is going to be greatly initiated during winter solstice of 2020. So a year from now, a year and a month from now, we have this very important alignment. And I spoke about this in depth in an offering that you can find on my website. That I gave on 11/11 around the 3 major transits of 2020 in that astrology. And I'll be offering another virtual gathering space on 12/12, December 12th, where we'll go through the different houses and I'll speak to how these transits are going to affect each house and what you can expect. So if you want to receive either of those offerings, they're available for you on my website. And I'll put the link in the notes as well. So the important thing to know is that spiritual pursuits are really favored right now, and they're going to continue to be favored. That is because 2020 is a time where spirituality is going to become more anchored and grounded on the planet. Those who have been on a spiritual path for some time and have felt more like they're on the fringe of culture are going to start to feel that that is less true, that they are more a part of the contemporary culture moving forward. And it's actually a real exciting time, and it's also a time to continue to dissolve, to let go with Saturn and Capricorn and the karmic south node. um, I said Saturn, Capricorn, I meant Pluto and the karmic south node all in Capricorn, because they're asking us to dissolve the foundations, to shed, to let go of, to work through the ancestral blocks that are no longer in alignment with our truth, with our authenticity. And it's very important work. We'll continue this work through 2020. And one of the most important things we do, the greatest takeaway that you could take from this video, that you could take from any of the offerings that I'm sharing at this time, are how do you align your true values with everything you do in your life? Meaning, how you spend your time, how you make your money, how you spend your money, how you utilize all of your energy. We're being asked to be in authenticity, to be in integrity, and to align in that way. Yeah, there's so many other aspects happening in this new moon, but I want to keep this video short and sweet, and want you to know that the sun and moon are also in a trine to Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron is in Aries, which is really an opportunity for us over the next 6 years moving forward to heal that divine masculine archetype. And there's a beautiful trine happening within this new moon where gifts can be received, free-flowing energy to do more of that work. So it's a good time to be looking at that. And tomorrow, on Wednesday, Neptune stations direct. Neptune has been in Pisces for quite some time and will continue to be in Pisces for a number of years. And Neptune has been retrograde since summer solstice, which has made things a little even more unclear than they can be with Neptune. Neptune is this place of high heart, of spirituality, of agape, of deep, deep soul love. And this force can create a lot of illusions and questions around boundaries. What is yours and what is mine? And Neptune in Pisces is already really good at dissolving the boundaries, because Pisces is so linked to that cosmic consciousness, to the great wide unknown. And with Neptune going direct this week and Mercury having stationed direct last Wednesday, there's going to start to be a lot more forward momentum. Now, the important thing is, when we cast this new moon chart for the East Coast, the sun and moon appear in the 11th house of hopes and dreams for the future, tribe, community, social groups, friends. And so this is a very, very important new moon to be thinking about: what are your hopes and dreams for the future? What is your vision for the long haul? And how are you going to seed that dream? And so I invite you to really work with this lunar cycle. You have time between now and the next couple of days to write your new moon intentions. It's good to write them by hand, because there's a hand-brain connection when you write, versus like typing out onto a device or onto your phone. So it's good to write your intentions by hand. You can even make a vision board, and to be thinking about not just this next lunar cycle and not just 2020 as a whole, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, 50 years even? You know, what are these dreams that you want to seed and to begin to incubate? And I invite you that as you do so, you're really pulling up from that crucible of courage. You're really dreaming big and with this wide, expansive, open heart. We have some important dates coming up in December. On December 12th, we have the Gemini full moon, which is opposing the Great Attractor, which is like this magnetic womb that goes beyond this galaxy. It's like the womb of all the wombs. And then on December 21st, we have winter solstice, also known as Yule, another really beautiful time to incubate the seeds. We have eclipse season officially opening up with the Capricorn new moon on December 26th. And that will be, that new moon will be conjunct Jupiter, who will have just gone into Capricorn, which is going to actually happen next week, Monday, December 2nd. And Jupiter going into Capricorn is going to ask us to grow our maturity, to grow our spiritual integrity, to show up even more than we have been thus far. And then we have another eclipse, January 10th. It's a lunar eclipse. So it's a full moon. The moon will be in Cancer, the sun in Capricorn. And then we have our very first major transit of 2020 on January 12th, where Saturn and Pluto meet up in an exact conjunction in Capricorn. And there's a lot of other energies there. It's going to be a very, very potent transit. It's a transit that is really asking us, what are we building? Like, what needs to dissolve? And it's important work that we're all doing right now. And so I just want to invite you, I want to remind you that whatever your authentic, unique medicine it is, be brave, be courageous, be willing to be seen, be willing to be heard, and may you utilize this Sagittarius new moon to really hold that vision, and like that centaur, have the vision high off in the distance with the breadth, and be willing to find your target and get your bow and arrow ready and start to aim, and know that not only will you aim for your target, but that you can achieve it as well. So I wish you new moon blessings, and I look forward to circling up with you in other ways. So you can always visit my website for more details. And if you're interested in coming on pilgrimage with me to Egypt in February of 2020, you can always email me direct, and I'll put links for all of that in the bottom of this video. Send you love and Satnam.